here. The world's falling apart.
Global outages, data centers impacted.
All this prep, but the VMs, if they go down, nothing else matters. This is part 2 of our Azure Site Recovery video. If you've missed part 1, how to set up ASR, go to the video here. If not, let's get straight into the ASR failover demo. Let's jump into our virtual machine. We can see it's in a nice healthy state. Our recovery time ejected is 4 minutes ago, which is great news. You can see here it's nice and happy, but before the demo, you can see we had some errors, and this was due to a virtual machine being powered off on premise. It shows that's all up and healthy, and we've got a nice picture here showing the flow. So we've got our vCenter server, our virtual machine, and we can see it's passing through the appliance to the cache storage disk using Azure Site Recovery, and that creates us one managed disk. For the first demo, let's jump into it. We're going to do a test failover. This is going to fail over the virtual machine, and this is going to live in the isolated network. So we simply click test failover. So we've got our recovery points. For here, we can see we've got our latest recovery point, but if we wanted to test an earlier point, we could choose a custom range. This is good if you've either made a change to a server and you're not too sure if that's what's caused the issue. You could roll back and you could restore it to an earlier point. But let's go for the latest recovery point. And as discussed, we're going to put this into the test network. And then we just click test failover. Actually, if we jump into the job here, we can see a bit more information. So at the moment, this is just checking the machine's all good for failover. So it's got an up-to-date backup, the agent's healthy, and it's ready to go. And great, that one's passed already. And now it's starting the failover. Play some waiting music. There we can see the start in the test failover process. So it's begun. Now it's going to actually start to create the virtual machine. Let's duplicate this tab and we'll see if we can catch it during the process. If we go to our virtual machines, we can see the virtual machine has already been created. If you look, it's just appended -test at the end. So that's just to ensure you know this is actually the test failover. That's great. So you can see that has successfully finished. If we do some maths there, it's taken 1 minute and 40 seconds to get that machine failed over. So let's hop across to our virtual machine plane. Okay, we'll just check in so we can see the virtual machines come over. This is the SKU it's picked, the memory, etc. And you can see this is living in the test virtual network. You can see the server there, stk-demo 02. If you look, you've got test on the end, so that makes sure we know it's the correct machine, it's a test machine. So let's go into it. You can see that machine is all up and running. So if we go into Bastion here, we'll just confirm we can log on to the machine. There you can see the user account successfully logging on. Because this is in a test failover state, any changes made to this virtual machine, they won't be kept. So once the machine is shut down and the test is finished, then everything will be lost. Yeah, I'm happy with that. The machine's working. So let's log off. So now we're going to go back to our recovery services vault. Then we're going to click clean up. So we're going to go into the job and we're going to click clean up test failover. We'll just put failover complete. We're going to tick this and this will ensure the test virtual machine is deleted. So if we go back to our virtual machine page, we should see the machine be deleted. Let's check on the job actually. So we can see there, it's ended the failover test and now it's just in the process of tidying up the virtual machine. So that'll delete the test virtual machine and the network card that was associated with it. Okay, so you can see now the virtual machine's gone. So if you just go back to our job, you can still see that is still tidying it up in the background, but for the actual virtual machine, that's no longer there. Okay, that's successful. From that test failover, you can see how quick the process is. So in terms of failing over the virtual machine, getting to a point when you can actually log into it and then tidying it back up. It's taken 1 minute, 6 seconds, and that's successfully tidied all the machine up. So we've done our test failover now. We're happy the machine fails over successfully. And now we're going to do a real failover. This should be used either if you want to move your virtual machine from on-premise or disaster hit, so you need to restore it. So we're going to click failover. Again, we're going to select the latest recovery point. Just one thing to note here, because it's not being migrated via vCenter, we'll need to manually shut down the server once we fail over. So your on-premise server will need manually shutting down. If you are connected to vCenter, it's clever enough to power the virtual machine down for you. Let's just click failover. And once this has successfully failed over, I'll be shutting down the virtual machine on-premise. So let's click on our job. So again, you can see you've got a lot of the same steps as last time, apart from it's trying to shut down the virtual machine. So let's wait for this to finish and then test the virtual machine. Okay, so we can see the job is successfully finished, so the virtual machine should be failed over and started. So let's jump back to our virtual machines. Let's refresh our view. So you can see here we've got the virtual machine that's powered over. If you notice this time we don't have -test on it. So this is showing you that it is a live running virtual machine. Now the virtual machine's failed over, let's connect again to it via Bastion to ensure we can connect onto it. So that's great. So we can see that virtual machine's failed over successfully and it's logging in. So if we go back to our recovery services vault, we can see the failover is completed successfully. That machine's logged in. So that machine's now running in Azure. Any changes that are made to it will be saved back to the disk. Obviously at this stage, it's not, you don't want to be failing it back. We go back to the job. So let's commit the job. So we're happy with the virtual machine. Committing that, that's telling you you don't need to send over any more changes. Let's complete the migration job now. So we're happy with that. That's a successful failover. The machine's now running in Azure. In the background, I've powered off the machine on premise. Now it'll just be handing that machine over to your users and just performing your testing to make sure any services you might have configured, anything that's reliant on IP addresses has been updated. Let's just jump into the job of completing the migration. We can see it's disabling the replication on the source location. It's going to disable the replication on the target. And then it's just going to update all the services state so it knows where the machine is and where it's running. And again, you can see how super easy that is to fail it over and the time it takes. For this demo, these virtual machines, obviously it was quite a simple machine that we were failing over. But if you do have things like maybe a SQL Server or something a bit more complicated, there needs to be a bit more planning going into it, just ensuring you don't have anything that's tied to IP addresses, any licenses that may be attached to a MAC address still. So yeah, to make sure you fail over the machine successfully, you need to ensure you do the planning first to make sure your machines are ready to be failed over. If we jump back to Recovery Services Vault, you'll see now there's no replicated items. That's because we've completed the job and committed it. So let's remove the job, so that's ensuring it's not syncing anymore. We failed over the virtual machine into a test environment. That was an isolated network, ensuring we could test the virtual machine successfully powered on and was functioning. We cleaned up the replication job for that. Our next test was to do a production failover. This is where we failed over the virtual machine into a production network and committed it, and the server is now running in Azure. Thanks a lot for watching. I've been Matt. I'll catch you on the next one.